We're very happy. We have Jingyi, my very supportive and good teammates from Seller Education, same team, together with us to share about this topic. Maybe Jingyi, do you want to share a little bit more about yourself? I think this is the first time, or rather the second time you are in the webinar. I think the first time you have some house emergency.
Yes.
Yeah, so before that, if you all cannot hear us or see the slide, let us know in the questions box, so that we know. All right, so yeah, maybe a short introduction of yourself and we can kickstart.
Yeah, I'm so sad to have missed the first session, but I'm very glad to be here to introduce Seller Central together with JL. And I've learned so much from actually watching JL's webinars over the years. So over the year plus this year.
Plus, yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I actually only started registering my seller account this year. And before that, I've just been accumulating all the information and learning from JL as well as the other Amazon resources on how to get started with selling on Amazon. So I'm from the seller education team, like what JL said. And for me, I am the person working on the guides that will help you sell and dive deeper into each topic during your own time. So if you have any questions or you want to find out anything more in detail, leave a comment below or on the site. On the site, this
one of the side.
Yeah. So that we can get answers for you and find solutions to help you along your way. So actually, JL, are you also a seller on Amazon?
Yes, I would say so. I started setting up my account actually last year. So before I joined this team, I was like a program manager, which not really selling, but I do have an account. Just that when I got on this role, I started to get more interested into how the whole selling on Amazon works. I started to actively use the account and also start selling inbounding products. Not a very top seller yet. Hopefully one day, then you probably won't see me here.
No, even if you become top seller, we still need you here to continue trading and share your successful experiences with us, very new sellers.
Hopefully, yeah. Speaking of that, we're gonna run through the next slide now. All right, so thanks for sharing, and then also a little bit background. Just now you mentioned about the years. So technically, in summary, seller education officially kind of launched last year. So we are about 1 year old. So a part of seller education, there's 2 programs to help sellers like yourself to learn. So one of it is Seller University, which has been around for quite some time, managed by Jingyi. So correct me if I'm wrong. So there are short videos who guide you, through your selling process. There is PDF walkthroughs, one-pagers, and then there is a seller university section in Seller Central that you can keep track of your learning progress. Anything I miss out?
No, actually that's very thorough on Seller University. So Seller University is also free with your Seller Central account. So when you are in Seller Central, basically in your left-hand side drop-down menu, just go all the way to the bottom and you see the Learn tab. Click that and then it'll bring you to Seller University where you can access all these resources for free and at your own time. I think we have resources that covers from beginner level where you just want an overview, and it also goes even deeper into seller case studies, what have successful sellers done, that combines all these Amazon tools together to help them bring about their success. So click in and you can find out more. Actually, JL, you also have LB webinars that have like partners come in as well as sellers come in to share their experience also. Could you share like one of the recent ones?
Yes, speaking of that, right, the upcoming one, which I will share at the end as well, which is in March and April, we do have some external service providers and partners that we invite them to join. I think the next upcoming one will be on the account registrations. Wolfers will be joining us to share about what are the payment options available for new sellers like yourself. So I think that's very exciting. You get to hear not just from us, you also get to hear from external folks who are, working with, helping sellers to get their business running on Amazon, to see a different perspective of how things work out.
Cool. So that's one of the things I would love to learn as well.
Yeah, and that is what live webinar. This is what you get to interact with the speakers like ourselves and also external speakers, and you get your questions answered in real time. So we do see quite a number of questions that was put in through the Q&A section in the registration form already, which we'll go through before we end the session. All right, speaking of that, right, just some administrative stuff. So do know that the session will be recorded. You can check out the recording in our official YouTube channel. So there will be webinar recordings. There are also Seller University's recording videos as well. And then any question, put into the question box. And also, last but not least, what we're showing today is accurate as of today. So if you are to see the recording, a few months down the road, make sure you always catch the latest videos or go on to Seller University or Seller Central for the most updated content. Right, so important notice. So today we're going to do a little bit different, because we hear from a lot of sellers that they want to see how the real interface looks like. And as a seller ourselves, we also do understand how relatable if you can see something that it's the actual user interface you're working with. So today we plan to go through the actual Seller Central website demonstration, should I say that? So we'll go through some of the things that you as a newer seller or seller who just got access should be aware of, and what are the key things that will get you prepared, I hope. Yep, so I'm gonna share the Seller Central website right now, while maybe Jingyi can talk something to keep our audience interested. Yeah.
So maybe I'll just give off like a quick overview of what Seller Central is. So Seller Central is the page where you can access all the tools and dashboards and reports that can help you with your sales operations. So it's available to all sellers once you have registered with us. And once you register with your account, you'll be able to take care of your day-to-day business and access tools all in one place. So it's a one-stop shop. And I think, am I able to then use all the tools for free?
So in fact, I would say all the tools are actually free. All right, so there is, for those who are not aware, there is two different types of account. One is the individual selling plan, and the other one is a professional selling plan account. So the difference is that for the individual selling account, for every item that you sold, there will be an additional 0.99 USD charges per item sold. Whereas the professional selling account, there's a monthly fee of $39.99 USD. However, I think right now there is still an ongoing promotion going on. So by paying $1 USD, you get access to professional selling plan for a whole 6 months. So, to recap again, by signing up and then you pay $1 USD, and then you get access to the professional selling plan for 6 months. So with that, right, it comes with a whole suite of very useful tools, like what we'll be sharing later as well, like Product Opportunity Explorer, Brand Analytics, etc., to help you get started. Yeah. So in summary, the tools, once you get access to Seller Central, the tools are actually free to use. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, let's dive straight into it. Speaking of dive, right, JL, actually, what's your favorite, if you could compare selling to like an Olympic sport, like what would you think is the most similar?
I don't, let me see, it's a very good question. So I actually love to watch diving as well as the gymnastic part of the Olympic sport. So yeah, I think there are a few ways you can do. One way, maybe like myself, is I dive right through into to get an account, to see what are the tools that can help me get started, source for products. Yeah, and then start to think about the longer term plan, like should I get my brand registered, etc., that kind of stuff. Yeah, so maybe diving, gymnastics is more like a lot of different patterns. I don't know.
Yeah, doing the relays, right? Actually,
Yeah.
every step of selling is almost like a relay. You need to do like one step, succeed, do another step, and then maybe go back again and redo it to like get your rankings and placings.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
optimization, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the UI that you are looking right now. If you cannot see, do let us know. You might want to reconnect back to the platform, go to webinar. But what we are showing you is the homepage of Seller Central when you get access. All right, so at the top, you should be able to see your account name and then which store you're selling in. For example, this is our Seller University account, selling in the United States. All right, so if you have multiple stores enrolled, you can see in the drop down. If not, most of the time you should only see just one. Okay, so maybe to think like, what should be the thing that we should focus on the moment we log in first time to the Seller Central.
Wow, so many things. Actually, I think JL, you probably need to address those in red first.
Okay. Yeah.
Under your actions. But maybe for today, we don't address that first. We'll just talk about the key metrics or the key performance indicators at the top. So essentially here, you'll be able to first see, this row of cards that summarize your key metrics. So here you can expand each card, right, to get more information into each of your stores, your orders, as well as your pricing health. So first, what these things you can do, first, before I go into that, you can actually see this data live. So all these things, right, will be updated whenever you refresh your page. But some of the data, I think it might take up to an hour to get the latest information. Okay, so here what you want to see, right, is you want to address your important alerts. So for example, I see your account health is green, it's healthy, that's very good. But say if you see any red things, like you see in your actions table, the red icons really means that it's critical communication that you should address as soon as possible, because that's relating to your account status. So this could mean account suspension, deactivation, or other issues that are very pressing. Okay, you might also see yellow. So yellow is more of warnings. So warnings like, things that can pose a potential risk to your account. So this could be also like risk of suspension, risk of deactivation, or any like major product impacts that you might experience later on. Okay, but generally, you can actually see any outstanding or upcoming activities that you can take um, to maintain your account health and business operations and performance. So these are things like, what are your outstanding shipment problems, what are your open orders, as well as how your sales are doing um, as of the recent period. Okay, so let's go into our sales first, which is the top of mind of everybody. We're all here on Amazon to make money, right? So JL, maybe you could share a bit more about this, because I'm quite new as a seller. So what can I expect to see from this sales card?
This sales card will actually give you like a trend, or rather a sales history. So if you click on it, right, you can look at the graph. Obviously, our test account don't have any sales, but if you do have it, you can see there will be a graph for you to look at your sales across today, as well as the timeline, like 7 days or 15 to 30 days. Yep. And then if you are selling in different stores, you will be able to look at the different currency breakdown. But in general, this is to give you an idea on how's your sales doing in the past number of days that you selected with. So usually for me, when I come in, I'll just look at, these are the more important thing. Actually, it's all lined out. We should clearly explain the other key metrics that you want to look at for a start. Like, do you have any open orders? Do you have any seller that is messaging you to ask you regarding your product under the buyer messages, etc. And how are you comparing to the feature offered, that kind of stuff, yeah, that you can quickly action on, especially account health and the actions that you need to do.
Actually, just now when you click the sales drop down menu, I saw this sales dashboard. So I think if you scroll down, go to sales dashboard. So I think quickly jumping in here, sales dashboard is actually one of the 3 business reports that you can access as a seller. So the other 2 business reports are the by date, business report by date, or business report by ASIN. So this report data is generally available up to 2 years. And in these reports, you can actually compare sales versus the traffic coming to your product, where you can understand, which are the products your customers are discovering more frequently. What's your feature offer percentage, which we'll go through later on. You'll see it in your key performance indicator at the top also. And also what's the conversion. Jel, what is conversion when we are referring to conversions on Amazon?
Conversion, I would say, okay, if I remember correctly, it's just the so-called number of sales. There are some formulas they want to do, like conversion rate, how many sales compared to how many sales you got from the number of page visits, page views. Yeah. Yeah.
So say if I want to increase my conversion, right? What do you recommend I do?
Oh, there's many things you can do. First of all, I mean, you gotta make sure your listing is optimized. So there's a lot of methods or strategies, right? Optimize your listing, getting very good images, putting your, what do you call it? Putting the right bullet points, your product descriptions, product image, making sure that if you have A+ content, that'll be good. So I would say that it's largely based on how your listing look and feel. Of course, your product must also be true to what you are describing on your product listing, etc. Yeah. Did I miss out anything? I don't know. Yeah.
No, I think actually now that you mention it, right, I do recall you having this like webinar on like how to improve your listings. Is that something that you covered there also?
Yes, we do cover there as well on how to actually, because listing itself has a lot of details. What I'm saying is just a very small subset of it. There are some best practices on how you can optimize your listing title. What is the preferred number of words or text you should put in each bullet points. How you should write the product description. What kind of A+ content tiles that you should use to showcase your product, etc. So yeah, that's probably not for today, but today maybe is more really on the Seller Central usage, which is good that you asked that, because that itself has a whole lot of we do have a lot of this, what they call, feature in Seller Central, which is to add your product, and then there's a whole suite of guides inside to help you include all those details correct. So if you follow through how to add a product, more or less you should be able to come up with a very good product listing, assuming you have all the details prepared as well. Yeah.
I also see just now you saw there were like a few countries in the dashboard. Shall we go to the stores card?
The stores card, you need to let me know where is it. Usually I use bookmark. This one?
Yes.
Yes.
Stores card.
Yes.
So when I register, am I selling in all of these stores?
So when you register, I think right now is when you register, you will be registered for, let's say if you register for North America, right, you'll be registered for US, Mexico, and Canada right now, I think. But what you are seeing right now, right, you need to register for the other stores. You can just add the stores. Right, you can see here we have other stores. Right, you can take a tour if you want a tour, but don't worry, we give you the tour here. Yeah, so yeah, there are different store like in America, Europe, APAC. All right, so you have to set up the account. I think right now it's not difficult. You just once you have an access to Seller Central, you can start to create these other accounts easily under the stores to expand. Yeah, but I think for a start, for newer seller like ourselves, so probably to start on Amazon US for a start, because it's the most, I would say it's the most it's the store with the most product category. So there will be a lot more traffic, etc., because most of the category can be found over there. So yeah.
And then just adding on to what you said, when I'm deciding which store to open, I think other than understanding what, for example, the US selling in the US is like, I think I also want to understand who are these customers that I'm targeting, who are these what's the situation, competition in the US, what are the trends, and also I think realistically I need to understand what is my limitation and what's my strength. So for example, right now if I'm like very new operating by myself, I want to learn as much as I can, maybe follow the curriculum that you have on the webinars, and then try it together with other sellers of my own cohort.
That sounds good. And speaking of that, right, we do recently launch a 4-day like online curriculum thing. I think it's available on Seller University. You should be able to search for it. Should I search for it now or later?
We can send it to people once they join like a mailing list.
No problem. So yeah, we will provide a link on our, I think our link in bio dedicated page as well, so they can find easily. Yes. So that is something new to guide sellers, step by step throughout their what they can do on a step-by-step curriculum basis. Yeah. All right. So these are the part where you can create different selling, or rather sell into the different stores. And I think you can also build international listing, right, to help you build your listing to the other store as well. So you don't have to recreate your existing listing if you already have a listing. All right. So going back, we can talk about like open order. Yeah. So if you have any open order that is not fulfilled, you can see it easily on this metric, on this key metric score card, or what is it called? Yeah.
The card.
Yes, card. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you have a lot of open order, means you can ship it. Then again, if you are using FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, you don't really have to monitor it that much, because Amazon will do the pick, pack, and ship for you once your inventory is in the Amazon fulfillment center. Yeah, so managing of order is more for seller who are doing self shipping. Yep.
And then I think related to orders, I think you cannot forget about the customer. So when you're talking about giving your order or like fulfilling your order to the customer, when the customer received your product, sometimes they will leave like reviews or messages for you. So this is under the buyer message breakdown for each store that you are registered on. So in the buyer message, you can see the total number of unanswered messages you've received in the past 7 days. So when you click in, these exchanges between buyer and seller from the past 4 weeks will form a customer service rating or a score on the customer service dashboard. So to get to that dashboard, when you click buyer seller message, you actually see the blue link at the bottom of that drop down menu. You click that, you'll see the customer service dashboard. Oh no, actually here on this page at the top right where it says dashboard. When you click dashboard, this is the customer service dashboard where you'll see the rating that you have. So it's important to also note that I know some of us might be very tempted to actually message the customers directly to ask, hey, how's the product? Like, do you love it? Can you give me 5-star rating? But that is against the Amazon communications guideline. For Amazon's communications guideline, it's important to remember that you cannot contact your customers for marketing or promotional purposes. So this includes email, sending hard copy mail, calling them. Okay, so the only time you can respond to these messages is that when customers are asking you on their questions about their order, or if you need to respond to customer service questions.
All right. Cool. Let's go on. I think there is a lot of things that, usually when we sign up for some new services, right? We tend to want to go to the settings. Do you think there's any things that we need to set up in the settings, or is there other things that we need to talk about this? I see this feature offer. Maybe we go through this one before we talk about what can we do in the settings.
Sure.
Okay. Feature offer. So I think some so Amazon is a little bit different. Some people who sell on other website may not have this concept of feature offer. So maybe you can share a little bit. Like, feature offer is also commonly called buy box. Don't worry, yeah.
Buy box.
Yes, but somehow it's called feature offer. So if you realize in Amazon, there's only one. Okay, assuming you are going to sell similar like listing, right? But of course, if you're doing your private labeling, then there will only be one listing that is yours. All right, but somehow if you are selling a listing that is already on the Amazon catalog, there will only be one that will appear as the add to cart. So that is called the featured offer. All right, so there is a lot of factors back end which I may not know as well, but I know that it consists of how perhaps your ratings, your seller rating, your product rating, your responses, etc. Everything that adds up to even your shipping time to add up whether or not a seller will get to be the featured offer. Because as a feature offer, meaning that most customer will just click add to cart, so that feature offer will be adding to cart, and if you are the one holding that feature offer, then that will be, adding to cart will be your product. Yeah, so this is just to show, how much percent of the time in 2 days or 30 days before that you manage to hold that feature offer for your product. Yeah, then again, if you are selling the product that only you are selling, then it will be 100%, assuming nobody actually sell the same product like yours.
So the percentage shows how frequently your offer is actually being shown to your customers.
Yes.
Compared to other people.
Yes. Yeah. So actually there's a two tip. Yeah. The average time that listing with customer views were the featured offer. So it also say the featured offer is the offer near the top product detail page, which the customer can buy or add to their cart. So they're saying what I'm saying. Good. Okay, so now we go back to what I was saying. There's a lot of things that we can set up, like in the settings, right? Yeah, let's talk about what is the most important thing we should actually set up. I know the first one we should do is make sure. Now, obviously, we need to solve any exclamation mark things. All right, your user interface may be a little bit different, but don't worry, the function is the same. All right, so in the account setting, you can see usually they will tell you what is the issue. You need to provide like text information. If you have these, try to resolve all the red issues first before you work out anything.
The red ones that are on your homepage.
Yes.
The actions that you need to take.
We'll let it be there because anyway we can't update since it's actually a test account. But for your end, you should update it. If not, you won't be able to do a lot of things. I don't think you can add any listing if you're in red or something. Yep. So another thing, okay, let's see. We just go through, what is important here. All right, so you can quickly go through to see which are your active and inactive stores. All right, and then the payment information. You can set up your seller profile. All right, payment information, I believe, is the details that you get to receive your profit or to get charged whenever your product is being sold. For the fees like FBA, for the referral fee, FBA fees, etc. All right, looks very different.
Yeah, maybe you can go to the account at the top, account overview. So I think like what you mentioned earlier, right? If you have any business information that is missing, it's important to address it here. So like, for example, maybe your phone number changed, or like your credit card detail or debit card details changed. It's important to update it here.
It's here.
Under business information. Yes, yeah.
Fake address, yeah.
Okay, ensure that all your contact information is up to date, especially your emergency notification contact information, because this is the contact where Amazon will reach out to you if there are any critical issues regarding your account.
Yeah, so that details is on, I think it's on the account management notification preference. Yes. And then over here, you can see our test email, but yeah, the emergency notification. So this is important. One thing you mentioned, make sure you enter a number that you can be contacted. Yeah, so this is the number that if your account have any issue, the account health team or any support team will reach out to you via this number, and also the email address you put here. Yeah.
And settings.
Yes. Let's see. This one.
So for the return settings, the information here is important for sellers who are not using FBA. So for most of us, we actually recommend that you use FBA because we're not located in the United States. So managing returns can actually be more challenging. However, whether you use it or not also depends on the items that you are selling, and you can work with service providers or logistic partners partnered with Amazon.
Yes.
For cross-border returns.
I say if you have your own existing logistic partner, you can also use it as well, so long they are familiar with how Amazon return work as well. Yeah, but in general, yeah, we won't. Even I myself don't use like sell ship because I don't locate in the market that I'm selling in, so it's very hard for me to liar. So I might as well just use FBA. So for FBA, right, Amazon will manage the return. They'll return to the fulfillment center, and then from there you can choose how you want to. Let's say if you look at the return reason, it's something that you think you want to investigate. Like if you are seeing a trend that your customer keep returning for maybe like a defect in one of the product areas, then you might want to maybe find your logistic partner to get back the item, and then you can investigate, is there a quality issue or something. Yeah, if not, you think the return rate is fine, you should always factor in there should be a typical return rate for most product that it's considered as a part of the investment, then it's fine, you just leave it there, so Amazon will be able to dispose it for you as well. Yeah.
So are we able to then see my FBA settings since we mentioned FBA?
Yes, you go to this, you go to FBA, and then you go to let me see. Sometimes they change a few UI that I don't even know where to find it. Let me see. We want to find the shipping settings, right?
I think it's still under the settings.
Under the settings?
Actually.
See lah. We also don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
come. I train the trainer.
Okay.
Go to settings
Go to account
and then go
info.
fulfillment by Amazon.
Okay, we go to shipping and returns. They changed the UI. Last time the UI not like that. Is it return?
I think it's okay. Let me see if I'm correct. You
Oh,
go to the settings page, settings icon, and then scroll all the way down to fulfillment by Amazon.
Oh,
Correct?
I will just search
Ding
for it.
ding.
Wow.
Correct.
Well done. How you take over?
Oh God. Oh no, I don't do that.
No lah, I usually just search. I can tell you the fastest way maybe is to search. But since this is a demo, we still need to tell you where to find it. And Jingyi has found it under this gear icon and fulfillment by Amazon. Why is it there? Good. We will know soon. So here.
So say if you're using FBA or fulfillment by Amazon, let us know in the comments if you don't know what fulfillment by Amazon is. So, but generally fulfillment by Amazon, if you are using it, make sure you come to this page to set up your FBA settings. Okay, so here I see actually you are able to then see your inbound settings, you know, what's your inventory placement, as well as whether you want automated unfulfillable settings. So here it's important that you come to this page, especially to check this section here, because there might be a situation where you'll actually have inventory that you cannot clear on your own through like organic sales. So at that point in time, in order to reduce your inventory storage costs, for example, you might want to ask Amazon to help to liquidate that for you, which is where you will set in this section here.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, but before you even want to liquidate it, right? You know, one of my training is about what are the promotional tools you can use. So I would say liquidation is really the last resort. Try to use all the promotion tools we have, like voucher, what do you call that? Deals, everything that you can use to actually get more out of your products. Okay, run a very good deal, use a promotion voucher, coupons, etc. Yeah. So unless you really can't sell it, then maybe the last resort is to do liquidation, which you might get back a very like little percent of the actual cost. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we covered I think we touched upon like a lot of these core selling tools and programs that Amazon has. So let us show you where you can find these tools and programs within Seller Central.
Okay, the first one we want to show is this core selling tools, right? You can actually find these are the one that you will add product. You go to catalog. All right, this is everything regarding your product listing, where you can upload your product videos, etc. Upload your images, right? But first, usually you will start off with the add product, right? To add your first product. Okay, under inventory is where you see all your inventory for your sales sheet as well as your FBA inventory, right? There is a option that you can see on regarding your shipment, when is it being inbounded, or how much was check-in for your inbounded shipment, the dashboard, etc. Right, so yeah, some things, you know, certain feature you can also access it through the certain sub menu. So yeah, so for inventory inside, you can actually go to the shipment as well. All right, then there's pricing how you can manage your price. You can even do automate pricing, right? You can set up some rules so that it can match, you know, based on the rules that you set up to, to set a certain pricing. Right, I have to be honest with you, I don't really use some of these features because there's so many features. That's why we have this call seller universities. You know, if I know everything, I probably graduated, you know, from the seller university. But there is so much things to learn that I myself don't actually get to use every single feature yet. You know, yeah.
Yeah, actually, don't worry if you are not familiar or if you have not tried all of these things. Um, if you are not sure, you can start off with the curriculum first, where we'll then go through step by step where you can look for things and what are the essential tools you can use to start off first before you then go into like analytics or reports to then like optimize it. Actually, at times, I've also noticed when I was just exploring around with my new account that Amazon will actually give you recommendations as well. So, for example, like I was mentioning, in case of inventory, um, say I have excess inventory, Amazon will actually recommend a few steps for you to clear off the excess inventory, either through promotional tools, either through adjusting your pricing, so on and so forth. So don't worry if you don't know yet, you can just know where to find them. That's the most important thing.
Totally agree. And there is a lot of features. Each of these tools itself, we actually have like a 45-minute sessions to go through in depth about how you can use all these tools. Right, so we definitely won't be able to cover one single session, but just so you know, these are all the tools that you can utilize once you've got access to the Seller Central. Yep.
So the next tab that you see here, that's growth. I think this is actually one of the most frequent tabs that I click on as a new seller, because I want to know more about what kind of new products I should start selling. So this is where I actually go and understand what are the selections I can make that is actually going to be competitive when I'm selling on Amazon. So here I'll actually go into Product Opportunity Explorer to look at what are the ASINs, or ASINs meaning the products that are selling well or are trending. So actually, if you have time, please go through this tab in particular. You'll see a lot of data on like search volume, what are the trends, what are similar searches that are trending that customers are searching for certain keywords. So here you can actually then do your comparisons. Um, and if I remember correctly, right, JL actually also has webinar to talk about how to actually use the Product Opportunity Explorer in detail together with one of our Amazon account managers. So please go through this page at your own time and also click into the webinar. Or if you prefer to read through step by step, you can go through Seller University and watch the overview videos, best practices, and read the PDF guides.
Cool. I saw a very interesting feature here.
That's
new. Yes. Feature ultimate drive. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Well, we want to make sure that we have time for all the Q&A. Let's see what other important things that we can cover right now. I think we cover most of the stuff regarding the core selling tools. And for y'all that are not sure regarding advertising, right after this webinar, we have another session regarding sponsored brands by Hui Qi and myself later on. So if you have not signed up, do sign up as well. All right, so let's see. Let me see what are the more important things that we should cover. Right, I think we covered the payment as well. So maybe want to show you where you can find, there's a part called apps and services. So you can go to explore services. So this is what we call the service provider network, SPN. So over here you can find a lot of so-called provider or partners here. depending on your needs. All right, you may not need to do it yourself. If you don't have the expertise, you can get a service provider who can help you to do account management, accounting, advertising, etc., etc. over here. Right. So one thing we always talk about is something like IP accelerator. So over here, this is a list of these partners that can help you get your trademark in the US formally in the right way. All right. So there's a lot of other services that you can find here that you can reach out yourself, do the due diligence, and then contact them to see whether it serves your business needs or not. All right. So last but not least, the powerful search bar. Yeah. So what I was saying earlier is usually I'll just search for it. Most of the things will come up. Just search for things like product. Yeah, my spelling is so bad. Product opportunity explorer. Yeah, popular. You see. Yeah. So yeah, usually there is too many things that is in the Seller Central that I need to just search for it. All right, so it will come up. Most of the times, the things will be the one you're looking for. It's much easier once you are used to it. Yeah.
Let me also share two searches that I usually will go to in my first few days after registration. So one is I hear a lot about this thing called the FBA revenue calculator. So this calculator is essentially a free tool on Amazon where you can put in like a product that you have in mind, and it will give you an estimate of how much it is to ship and how much you can expect to get in return after your sales. So it will calculate based on the weight, dimensions, and also your shipping preferences. And you can then see an estimate of what's the revenue you can expect from that particular item. So this tool is actually very good if I just want to get a quick glance of whether this new product is going to meet my expected profit margin, and also help me understand a bit better about my shipping options. And the second tool that I use is this very, very important tool, which is called the compliance reference tool. So compliance reference is going to be useful as part of your selection process when you are not sure what kind of product can be sold in your targeted store. So for example, not everything that you see around you, right, is sellable in the US, especially when it comes to concerns over safety. Okay, so here I will go to the compliance reference tool. If you search compliance reference, you can actually find that tool that is also free to use. And in that compliance reference tool, you will see also some suggested SPN selling partners that you can reach out to on Amazon. So let me see if JL can find it.
I found it. You see, search is so powerful. By anything.
So in this tool, make sure you spend some time, go through it. We have a lot of information on how to use the compliance reference tool on Seller University, be it short video or a PDF guide. And essentially, you can search through product category, and straight away, if you scroll down, right, you can see, what are the concerns regarding this particular product in this category.
Wow, this is very important.
You can even see like the ratings of the service provider and the direct contact information for service providers if you need to get like compliance certifications for your product.
Wow, that's very useful.
Seller Central is filled with resources.
Wow.
All that is important is that you know where to look and how to use those tools. So I hope this gives you like a good overview of how to navigate Seller Central, and to have this opportunity to share what I've discovered in my first few days of having my Seller Central account.
Nice. So if you're really trapped, right? Last but not least, I think we have this help. Okay, very helpful help that you can get. Let's say if you really can't find what you need, you just go to help, get help, right? And then you select what is the issue or challenge you are facing. Is it selling on Amazon? Is it advertising? Or then you select the option or issue most closely related. If not, you can choose my issue is not listed, and then you can type down what exactly you encounter. So our SPS selling partner support team will be able to assist you either through the chat, or you can get them to call you back as well. But do know that if they call you back, you need to enable like they will call you back probably in a foreign number or something. So if your number is blocking like overseas call, then you may not receive the call. So this is something I think a lot of people don't know. I was trying to reach out to them, and I realized how come my phone is not ringing. Then they keep telling me we try to call you, but we can't get through. Then I realized, at least in Singapore right now, there's an option. I think due to a lot of these scams going on, they will allow you to block overseas call. So I don't know about the place you're in. If you manage to block it, you may not receive call, but you can still communicate with emails. Yep.
If you are worried that you'll lose the communications in your emails or miss phone calls, you can actually go to case log there, and then you can click to see like what was the sort of issue ticket that you submitted to the help team.
We have issues. All right, so this is some other topics that we have. You can see in March we have the professional selling account registration guidance coming up. You can sign up from the QR code. All right, so I hope I covered everything.
It's easier and actually more manageable if you take it step by step. Just follow the curriculum from the webinars, follow the guides, and follow the account manager's advice as you progress towards your end goal.
All right, Thank you, Xingyi. I hope to have you in our next webinar again.
I will.
Thank you
I'll
all
be very happy
attendees for sharing your time with us. See you all next time.